Good morning everybody and happy Bookmas. It's going to be a reading one. I thought it would be really fun to see how many books we can read in 24 hours. I do work full time and I am 34 weeks pregnant, so I don't think it's the best idea to try stay up all night because it's just not going to happen. But I thought let's put the timer on for 24 hours and see how much I can read until 24 hours. I am going to start off the reading Abby Jimenez, Say You Remember Me. I am about a quarter of the way through. I'm just loving this book so far. Ultimate rom-com. I'm excited to see where Xavier and Sam's relationship go. They are doing long distance. They had one date. Just to recap, they had one date. He falls hard. She had a really good time, but is thinking realistically, like, I can't see this guy again. Like, I've got to go help my mum and be with my family in another state. So she leaves, but they're kind of trying to see what happens still. He can't stop thinking about it, so he booked a ticket to come see her in California. So I'm currently up to that part right now and really enjoying it. And then we will see what books we have got next. I've got a few holiday reads I want to read, a few summer romances, and maybe even a few off my December TBR. See what kind of in the mood for. Get cozy. I've just put on this like snuggly little shirt and curl up in the beanbag and do a bit of reading. I did a thing. I ordered some pizza. And it is the burger flavor pizza from House Pizza. Oh, it looks so good. Hit the last 20 pages to go and I am invested. I seriously cannot put this book down. I feel like I've been reading non-stop for nearly like 2 hours. I'm gonna keep reading, eat my pizza. Morning everybody, it's another day. I finished Say You Remember Me and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions at the end of the video. We are going to pick our next read today, which I'm excited. It has been a few days. I've just had a shower, going to go to work soon, but I thought I'd give you an update on the reading. I finished Abby Jimenez and on the timer I've got a clip of me saying that I've read for 3.5 hours, and then yesterday while we were doing the baking I lost track of my timer, so I'm just going to start the timer again. Picked up Holiday Romance yesterday. I was baking and listening to it while the news was on because my partner was watching the news. That was an hour, so that's 3.5 plus 4.5, and then I read for another hour after we baked, and that for 5.5. So we are about up to 19.5 hours. I'm going to start the timer again at 19.5 hours. I was just in the mood for a festive read. So far I am loving this book. I am up to 35%. We are going to drive to work soon, so I will be listening to my holiday romance book. I'll give you an update tomorrow. Today is Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. We'll be reading for kind of on an average. I don't think that's going to happen. Are we going to make it on Friday? So Thursday we have to read for 10 hours and Friday 10 hours, or just under 9 hours and 15 minutes each day. That seems very overwhelming to do by Friday for Bookmas Day 12. So maybe skip an upload on Bookmas Day 12 just so we can get the reading in, because I would really like to finish on a high with a 24-hour readathon. I have my first choice over there. He says, point. Good morning. It's Friday, so it's officially been 1 week of doing the 24-hour challenge, and I have still only read 10 hours in total, so it is taking a wee while to read 24 hours, longer than I expected. But we have read some really good books. I have finished Say You'll Remember Me. I have finished Holiday Romance. Both love those books. And now I thought I would start a book that I've kind of been putting off because it's just so big, and I know it's quite a serious topic. I believe it covers poverty and wealth stratification, and by Barbara Kingsolver. I actually did buy it in Australia when I was there in August, and they had the most beautiful independent bookshop. What better way to read this than in a 24-hour readathon. Up to chapter 10, going on chapter 11. It is quite a step away from the two books that I have been reading, like some light romances. I was just in the mood for something a little bit more deep, and this seems to be the perfect book. So sorry about these angles, my arm's getting sore from holding you up. But yeah, we are gonna keep reading. I've got an appointment later on today and work later, so we'll see how many hours we can get through, and then tomorrow is Saturday, so we can do a good chunk of reading tomorrow. But at the moment I'm just chilling in bed reading. Here we have a smoothie: spinach, mango, seed, banana, water, and a little bit of lemon juice. I'm gonna whisk that up. That's delicious. I've got 11 hours and 35 minutes left on the timer. We're halfway. It has taken 8 days to get to this point. Very much about Demon's story, his life. I'm up to the part where he's 11 years old and he's been put in foster home. Basically it's like a farm where they just like do child slave labor. He's surrounded by poverty, addiction. The audiobook is reading like Forrest Gump's voice. So I can't stop thinking of Forrest Gump when I read this book. But yeah, let's see what happens in this book. I don't think the audiobook chapters align, but I'm up to chapter 21, which I think is 3 chapters behind in the book. Up to chapter 17 and have read this much. My goal today on audiobook, I've got 8 hours and 38 minutes left. My goal is to try finish this book today, and I think just do 8.5 hours reading. That's my goal. We'll see if we actually get there. I'm up to chapter 30 and page 227. Mixed thoughts on this book so far. I am finding that the topics in this book are very relevant to today and very important to discuss, but I'm just not finding it very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna softly DNF it. I'm just really surprised because this book has the highest rankings. I was looking on Goodreads and it's got 770 ratings and it's 4.47 stars. Really high reviews. I had really high expectations for this book. I am a little bit disappointed that it didn't meet the expectations that I went going into. I think I went in with such high hopes. It's very slow to get into. A Demon as being kind of, you know, he's in the foster care system, and he's going from family to family. He's had the most difficult upbringing, going through a lot in his life. I'm intrigued to see where he ends up in the future and what happens, but for now I am just going to softly DNF it. I'm just not kind of invested in his story right now. Yeah, and I'm up to half. I think I must just be about halfway, so I've had a gauge for a feel of what this book's about. I do want to come back to this, but for now I am going to stop reading this book. It is a few hours later 8 hours and 19 minutes left. Decided to read The Housemaid. Frida McFadden book is always so fast paced. Millie has spent her adult life in prison and she's out on probation and she's trying to get a job. We find out at the beginning of the book that she's living out of her car. She was fired from her last job. We don't know why. There's a few things that we haven't been told about her past, like why she was in prison, why she is living out of her car, why she was fired from her last job. At the beginning of the book she interviews to be a maid at this really wealthy family's house and she gets shown the room and she's thinking, oh, this is like, there's something not quite right, the vibe of the house, but she's really desperate for a job and she waits like a week or so and she's been just living out of her car and wants to find out if she's going to get the job or not. She ends up getting the job. Yeah, the thing that wasn't adding up was that she made her, there's a daughter, Andrew and Nina have a daughter, Cecilia, made her like something with peanut butter and then she said, I'm allergic to peanut butter, and told her mum, and then her mum was like, yeah, she's allergic, but then like later we find out Andrew was like, no, nobody has a peanut butter allergy, why would we have a big tub of peanut butter in the cupboard? So some things just aren't clicking and it's very fast paced. I'm very intrigued to see where it's going. The writing style is like not amazing, but it's just like, it's entertaining. Like we've like got a lot of like fast movement, like a lot of things coming at you, every chapter ends on like on a cliffhanger. The chapters are short, so it is very fast paced and unputdownable. Very invested in this book now. Oh my gosh, we're up to plot 2 and it's, no, we're up to part 2 and left on a complete cliffhanger. Wait to see what happens in part 2. It's getting really suspicious. We've had the gardener say a few times in his broken English, because he's Italian, trying to warn her it's dangerous. Slowly we're kind of scratching at the surface of maybe it's the husband being a bit dangerous, so find out what happens. I'm really nervous. Maybe they're working together. I've got 7 hours left on the timer. On my Kindle it says that there is 2 hours left reading time. I am going out shortly. I might leave part 2 there. Good morning everybody. It is Sunday. We are finishing this 24-hour readathon today for sure. I have got 4 hours and 50 minutes left. Feels like the home stretch and I'm very excited about that. I have read Say You'll Remember Me, Holiday Romance, half of Demon Copperhead. I finished The Housemaid this morning and it was such a fast-paced book, and now I have just started Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Sutanto, and I really like her writing style. We're gonna go to a coffee shop and read and get a matcha, just go for a bit of a walk this morning. This morning I just basically listened to part 2 without even being able to put it down, and now I'm really excited for the movie as well. The ending was like, it just like wrapped up really quickly. One was suspicious of what happened, but we'll see. It's early days. I think there's a few more in the series. I would like to know what happens to Millie, the housemaid, in the future. Let's go get a matcha, read, go for a walk. I think that'll be really nice just to stretch the legs, and yeah. I'm really excited to finish this. It says there's 6 hours and 46 minutes left on the audiobook, so probably even speed it up and it'll be like 5 hours. I've also got up my Kindle, so I might just read at the cafe and just like see how it goes. It says in Goodreads here, put the kettle on, there's a mystery brewing. Tea shop owner, matchmaker, detective, 60-year-old self-proclaimed tea expert Vera Wong enjoys nothing more than sipping a good cup of oolong and doing some healthy detective work on the internet, aka checking up on her son to see if he's dating anybody yet. But when Vera wakes up one morning to find a dead man in the middle of her tea shop, it's going to take more than a strong long gin, I don't know how to say that, sorry, long gin to fix things. Probably a type of tea, I guess. Knowing she'll do a better job than the police possibly could, because nobody sniffs out a wrongdoing quite like a suspicious Chinese mother with time on her hands, Vera decides it's down to her to catch the killer. Nobody spills the tea like this amateur sleuth. It's so funny, so fun. I'm actually like laughing out loud, giggling at some of the things that Vera's doing. It's so funny. So like got an element of depth in there as well, which is really fun. Some laughs now. We had like quite an intense last 2 books, so let's get the laughs coming. 2 hours to go. Book is so good. I'm already up to 40%. So entertaining. The writing is so witty. It's just so fun to read. Vera Wong owns a tea shop and all the tea chat is honestly making me crave tea. So I did just make a rooibos with rooibos and chai tea in my Christmas cup and a little honey sandwich for a little snack. Well, actually I already had one and now I'm on my second one. It's just so yummy. A little bit of like creamy honey and margarine on soft brown bread. Anyway, I am really liking this book, and it is just the perfect book to end this challenge with. It's fun, upbeat. We've got a mystery to solve, a cozy mystery. Definitely on track to finish our reading challenge today. I feel like it's been really fun reading so many books in a row. It's taken quite a toll on me, and I have been tired every now and then, like reading so much, like going from one book to the next book. It's like really like a lot, but it is a good way to get through a lot of books. I would never read three and a half books in just over a week. Usually it takes me a month to read that many books. So it's definitely been a readathon challenge. Let's go keep reading. Got our tea, got our Kindle, and I'm also listening at the same time. I am really loving the narrator. It's very entertaining. She's got a good, is that a voice actor? Grace voice acting energy. Also 36 weeks tomorrow, 9 months. What? A cafe this morning to read, which was really nice. They do the best matchas. They do ceremonial grade. It's quite rare and it's very delicious. They just have the freshest food. So it's good to be back home and putting my feet up, because they are getting a little bit swollen at this stage in the pregnancy, the fluid overload. So I need to keep my feet up. Let's go read, and excited, so excited to finish this challenge. Did it. We finished the 24 hours of reading over the last 10 days it took to read 24 hours. I just feel so proud that we finished the 24 hours. There were some times where I thought we weren't going to, but we pushed through. Overall, read 4.5 books, one romance, one festive romance, one psychological thriller, one cozy mystery, and half of a general fiction. Started off with reading one of my most anticipated reads for the year, Say You'll Remember Me. I gave this one a 4 stars out of 5. It was quite I would say quite an emotionally heavy romance. The trigger warnings, I thought I did enjoy, but it wasn't my favourite Abby book, but I'm so glad I got to it this year. I always love her writing style, and I think the way that Xavier and Sam handled their long distance relationship was goals, but they both had separate lives and how they made it work coming together, which I really enjoyed that aspect of the book. Abby always manages to throw in some fun aspects, especially the marketing aspect with the mustard company. I really enjoyed that element of the book. And then on my Kindle I read Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. Read that one. That one was such a cozy festive vibe. I really liked the plot line at the airport. It was very heartwarming. The couple had very good connection and banter, and I loved how the banter was woven through the whole story. Pleasantly surprised. I rated that one another 4 out of 5 stars. I went on to Min Copperhead general fiction about Damon growing up in poverty and all the hardships that he faces, and I think I didn't get into this one because it's very, usually I don't mind a character driven book, but this one is very much character driven. It's not so much plot, and I think I just wanted something a bit more faster paced. Is more fitting for a 24-hour readathon, which I've learned, but I will definitely come back to this book after a few days of thinking about it. Yeah, I just think it was just the wrong book to choose for the 24-hour readathon. And then after that I just decided to read one of the viral TikTok books, The Housemaid, because it's so viral. It's being made into a movie. Frida McFadden books are so fast paced. I read that so quickly. I was invested in what was going on. Part 2 was so fast. Yeah, the first part and the second part was in Nina's, so the lady who hired Millie. Like, that was definitely a plot twist that I didn't see coming. I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. And then for my last read, researching what I wanted to read, something funny, and then I stumbled across Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Sutanto. See, I read this book all day today. I started it today and finished it today. I could not put it down, and I gave this one a 5 stars, so we finished the video on such a high, finding a 5-star book even for the end of the year. It was so funny. Vera is just such sunshine in everyone's life. There was so much found family. Loved all the food chat in it. There was so many good meals being thrown around. Vera is like a novice sleuth, and she runs a tea shop, and somebody dies in her tea shop, and she brings together all the people that she thinks are suspects, and then kind of works her way, like she describes as a Sherlock Holmes mystery, like each person and how they come together. I just love the found family aspect of this, and the coziness and the mystery of it was just so well done. So I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved this book so much, and I actually can't wait to read the second one in the series, which I think came out this year. On another note, my goal so everything's pushing on my, is it your diaphragm? I don't know. But my goal this year is to read 40 books, and finishing off Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers put me on book 39 for the year. So we actually have one more book to read until we meet the end of year goal that I set for myself, which is 40 books. I didn't think I was going to get there, because when I was pregnant, well, I am pregnant, but in the first trimester I just did not feel like reading because I was so nauseous and just tired. I'm so happy we've had like a boost in reading the last, especially with the last 24, not last 24 hours, but the last 10 days have really pushed up my goal setting by a lot. My goal of books that I wanted to reach by the end of the year. I'm so glad you are here, and thank you for watching this video. If you stuck around to the end to find out if we did meet the 24 hours, I read about 4 books a month, so 4 books in 10 days. I'm very happy that we've that we did that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and welcome if you're new here. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I really appreciate it if you do. I hope you are having a cozy December season and reading some cozy books. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books below and what you thought of them, and I can't wait to see you for the final video of Bookmas coming up soon. Have a lovely rest of the evening or day in the next video. Bye!